This meeting will come to order. This is September 27, 2011 meeting of the Board of Zoning Appeals. We have 3 members present, therefore we do have a quorum. We meet the legal requirements for a quorum. Have the members read the minutes of the previous meeting?
Yes.
I'll entertain a motion to approve those meetings.
Second.
Second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, unanimous. Thank you. There is no old business to come before the meeting. We do have some new business, though. We have a petition of the board here to appeal the case of Sarah Boner doing business at B&B Disposal and Joe Boner doing business at 237 Cheney Road. And are those representatives here? Once again, are any representatives here for those petition appeals? They're not being here. It's my understanding that we will postpone legal postponement until next meeting. Is that right, Mr. Recorder?
Probably the best thing to do would be take a motion on each one of these items to formally defer these until next month.
All right. And the new business, item number 1, to appeal the decision of the building official B&B Disposal, 237/245 Cheney Road, Joe and Sarah Boner. I will entertain a motion to postpone that appeal decision until the next meeting.
Second.
Second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, unanimous. New business number 2, appeal the decision of the building official, Joe's Place, 237/245 Cheney Road, Joe and Sarah Boner. I will entertain a motion to postpone that for the next meeting.
I'll second that.
Second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. There now being no new business, is there any other business to come before this meeting? There being none, this meeting stands adjourned.
Second. Have a proper quorum determined. Ask for approval of minutes for August 30th public hearing and August 30th regular meeting. This can be approved in one motion.
Make a motion to accept.
I have a motion to accept. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. First we have old business. Recommendation to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen, acceptance of Woodsong Subdivision Phase 1, 2, and 3. Mr. Brown.
Mr. Chairman, this is an item that's been on the agenda for quite some time now. The developer has still got the 4 technical items. However, he's basically, I think, got them complete. I've been in the class all day, and some stuff has been turned in. There is a few minor things that are still getting worked out. I think on item number 1, the as-built plans that needed to be done. I've got a copy he's brought me today, so I've not had a chance to review those. And then, so that'll take care of item number 1 if those are okay after review, which I'm pretty confident they will be. On item number 2, the punch list, there was only a few items, I think, in water, and as far as the drainage, and that had to do with the as-built plans because we talked about the detention pond had to have some stuff redone. I think in reviewing these, and plus getting, I think he had some valve boxes he had to adjust to the final elevation of the topping. So he's got a little asphalt around those adjustments to repair. He was planning on doing that last week. However, the weather caused him to push that back. I think he's going to have some weather this week to get that completed by the end of this week. So I think item number 2, maybe by the mayor alderman meeting, will also be taken care of. The letter of credit, this is something that you'll probably see with everyone who brings these in now, because it costs to get these letter of credits extended. And any developer, not just him, but any developer is going to want to make sure they know the date that they're going to go to the mayor alderman meeting to try to ask for acceptance, because in our regulations, it needs to be a year from that date, whenever they get approved for acceptance, that the maintenance bond needs to be in place for. So that's why that date's critical. And if he was going to get, deferred again, denied or something, he wouldn't want to continue to extend that, because that costs money every time. And then on item number 4, he has got something to our city attorney, which I think they're looking at. There's not really, I don't think it's huge issues. I think there's just some minor issues and that can be worked out. Something that's not going to be worked out by tonight, of course, because they're not worked out right now. However, I feel probably, Tommy can probably say better, but they'll probably be able to work these items out also by the mayor alderman meeting. And in saying that, the reason why I'm saying that is I think tonight, since it's been on the agenda so long, instead of deferring this another month, I feel like it's probably best if this board either make a favorable or unfavorable recommendation to the mayor alderman. That way it gets off this agenda and it goes to the mayor alderman board, because the mayor alderman board is the board that actually does accept or not accept a subdivision, in the first place. This board just makes that recommendation of favorable or unfavorable. However, if you do make a favorable recommendation, I would probably put in that favorable recommendation that the 4 technical items need to be addressed prior to acceptance by the mayor alderman. If you give an unfavorable recommendation, I would like to see the reasons why you're giving an unfavorable. Is it just an unfavorable altogether, or are you just giving an unfavorable recommendation due to technical items 1 through 4? That way, whenever the mayor alderman has to look at this, they'll know exactly why this board give it favorable or unfavorable, and if anything needs to be, complete or finished at that time.
Okay, that being, I'm sorry.
The applicant is, or the developer is here, if you want to bring him up to ask him questions on items 1 through 4. He may have, some differing things he would like to tell you. You may have some questions that you would like to ask him. He is here, though, if you have any questions for him.
Okay, with that being said, are there any questions from the board?
I would like to ask, due to these items, they've not been reviewed, and this may be an attorney question, would we not be better off to send an unfavorable, specifically stating these items? And the reason I'm saying this, so when it gets to the mayor and alderman, these items will be very specifically addressed and not ignored. This is just a question.
I think that's within your discretion. It's almost the equivalent of approving something contingent upon something happening. Perhaps it's 6 of one, half a dozen of another, but either way, you're going to address the issue. So I think that's within your discretion.
Because I know we've gotten in trouble before with the contingencies.
Right.
Yeah, I think this board, as long as I've been on, we've come to the conclusion, if the items aren't finished, we're going to pass it. And that's kind of where I feel about this. I know we're close, but I don't feel comfortable myself, I don't feel comfortable sending a favorable recommendation, not knowing that these are 100% going to be completed by the time that the mayor and alderman meet myself.
And one thing I would ask is, maybe if you'd ask the developer which one he feels more comfortable with, because either way, and what I'm asking is, I think it's pretty clear apparently you wanted to go unfavorable, is does he want to deny this, or not deny, but defer this for 1 more month to maybe where he can get it to be a favorable, or had he preferred to go ahead and get an unfavorable based on maybe these, if it's going to be an unfavorable based on these 4 items, because if he's confident he's going to get these 4 items taken care of, I think the mayor and alderman board will have probably a different opinion of the unfavorable, at that point in time. So,
And I would do.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, with that being said, sir, could you step up to the podium and introduce yourself to the recorder?
How you doing? My name's Rick Risha. I'm the developer for Woodsong. That's fine with me. I feel confident that all these will be done because they're real small items. It's just a time thing. So if you want to do it that way, that's fine with me.
But you prefer us to go ahead and make a recommendation on what it goes tonight?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, you do understand that this board's policy is to clear technical items.
Correct.
So it's not anything against the situation in general. It's just that, you know, we don't want someone coming a month from now with 30 technical items and saying, well, I could clear them. Why don't you just go ahead and let me go ahead with, you do understand where?
I do understand.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Any more questions from the board? Okay, thank you, sir. That being said, do I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, that being said, I'd make a motion to send an unfavorable recommendation to the Board of Mayor and Alderman, because all of the technical items haven't been addressed fully. Do I need to read those for you, Bruce? Or can we just put these in the capital?
Might be better to actually state them.
Okay. In my motion, I would include the lack of the technical items 1 through 4. Item number 1, being as-built plans still lack some of the required information to be complete. An electronic copy, AutoCAD format, and PDF of the as-built plans need to be submitted once plans are complete. Number 2, punch list items for water, sewer, streets, and drainage need to be reviewed and approved by the appropriate departments. Number 3, the letter of credit needs to be extended for 1 year beyond the date of acceptance by the Board of Mayor and Alderman. And number 4, the form of offer of irrevocable dedication is found in section 3-105 of the subdivision regulations needs to be submitted and approved by the city attorney. And that'd be my motion.
Do I have a second on that motion?
Second.
Motion's properly second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries for a non-favorable recommendation being sent forth with attached technical items as the reason. Next, final plat, re-subdivision of Lot 10, Heritage Valley, 9.4 acres, property located at 808 Park Court South, tax map 14 North, Group B, parcel 34, and tax map 18C, Group A, parcel 38, R3 zoning district, parcel owned by Bruce Eckbauer, and the Heritage Valley Homeowners Association. Mr. Brown?
Mr. Chairman, we have once received, again on this one, a request to defer until the October 2011 scheduled meeting due to the issues that we discussed at the workshop.
I have a motion, I have a request for deferral. Next, we have new business. Recommendation to the Board of Mayor and Alderman, acceptance of Brookside subdivision Phase 1.
Mr. Chairman, this is a subdivision that the mayor and alderman had to call on the letter of credit if I think this board also was informed of that, but everyone probably is aware of that. And since there is not a letter of credit or bond or anything on this or any relationship with a developer at all in this subdivision, we're bringing it forward to get accepted. And reason being is for the auditor's purposes, they will ask that, the city paid for these and, paid for this to be done. Are the streets accepted or are they not? And I think legal opinion would pretty much say that once you don't have a letter of credit or a bond or anything like that anymore, to kind of work with a developer, it's pretty much the city's at that point, so.
Make a motion that we send a favorable recommendation to the mayor and alderman, board of mayor and alderman for acceptance of Brookside subdivision Phase 1.
I have a motion for a favorable recommendation. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have a recommendation to the Board of Mayor and Alderman, acceptance of Cedar Grove Estate, Sections 1 and 2.
Mr. Chairman, this is the same issue as item number 3 with Brookside. Letter of credit had to be called on, and there is no relationship at all with the developer anymore. They would not return calls and would not complete the improvements. That's why we had to call on the letter of credit. So since we've already called on that, there is no letter of credit or bond on this subdivision anymore, or these sections. and there's no relationship with the developer, so it's kind of the same issue as with Brookside.
Do I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we send a favorable recommendation to the mayor and alderman to accept City Road Section 1.
I have a motion to send a favorable recommendation. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have bonds and letters of credit. Mr. Brown?
Mr. Chairman, everyone should have a bond list, or current bond list in front of them. Everything is up to date. The one that's coming up next will be Blair Oaks, and it expires October 30th, 2011. I have not made contact yet with that developer, but I will be making contact with them by the end of this week to get that process started. I spoke with them not too long ago, and they're planning on extending that for a year again, so shouldn't be any issues with that one.
Mr. Brown, what is your usual comfort time? Is it 30 days or right around 30?
When I call
45?
the developers, I'll usually call the developer or the bank, whichever one I normally talk to. It's different circumstances, different ones, but it's usually anywhere from 45 to 30 days.
Okay.
In that time frame there. I'll usually contact them to see what they're planning on doing.
Okay. Any other questions from the board? Meeting adjourned.